live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it facts straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step up to the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the chop shop, cause they cutting up. It's retro, coming to you live to the chop shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the chop shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the chop shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jimmy, the Cheat Sheet Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we broadcast all over the world via YouTube Live and Facebook Live. It's a Tuesday morning, and guess what? Let me look up on my board. We always honor the first 5 people who sign on to the Facebook page and the YouTube page at first. I mean, the first 5 people, we call them our starting 5. Kimberly Jackson, Jimmy, Rod Wells, Todd Holmes, Derek Johnson, and Rick Brown. And our 6th man of the day is Martin Vaughn. Man, we got a lot of stuff we got to share with y'all today. But I want to talk about, let me tell you something. I hope y'all watched the Democratic National Convention last night. Great speech by Michelle Obama. If you didn't, we can talk about it a little bit. If you did see it, go back and listen to it. She had some key moments. It's the first time I've ever, and watching this political process, seeing a former first lady or former first lady come out and be so and told the truth about a sitting presidency. But yesterday, I'm very remiss and I'm mad at myself. I had it on the list, but we kept going. On Mondays is such hectic. But let me tell y'all something. We had a historic moment yesterday, and if I know we don't tell it on this show, it won't get told. Historic hiring of Jason Wright, the NFL first black team president. This the same NFL that we've been bashing for the last, but they had their first black team president. The Washington football team used to be the Washington Redskins. They hired him as the president. All right, let me throw this out there too. Okay, Wright is only 38 years old. Went to Northwestern, MBA from the University of Chicago's Business School. He was a partner at McKinsey, this firm, I guess in DC, yes. But we could, y'all, and y'all remember I said this. We could very well be looking at the first black NFL commissioner. Just go back and look at these. It might be years off, when Roger Goodell get out of there. But as both a nation and as the NFL continues to grapple with this legacy of systemic racism, an undertaking largely initiated because of the the horrible videotape killing of George Floyd at the hands of police. Right assumes control, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, of Washington's entire business operation, rising to a position of power that few black men or people of color in general have historically occupied in any corporate structure. And I heard some stuff by Rod Graves. Rod Graves, he is the chief decision maker at the Fitz-Pollard Alliance. Go look that up, Fitz-Pollard Alliance. And Graves, he said that he just has a major moment, and he signed off on it. And let me tell y'all something. We got to shout out to Jason Wright, running back. Jimmy he wasn't a great player; he was a good player. But when his career was over, ladies and gentlemen, when his career was over, he went to work. He went and finished his degree. He went and got his MBA, and now he's in one of the top spots in the NFL, being a president of an NFL football team. It's almost on. Yeah, he played in the league, Derek Johnson. Just go look him up, Jason Wright, because what I do is try to introduce stuff on the show so y'all can go research it yourself. And then we can come back and talk about it a little bit. But let me tell you something. That should have been mentioned yesterday, and I apologize because it was in my notes and I just didn't mention it. But great day in sports. I know it's kind of sad because some days, y'all, one of these days we ain't gonna have to go through that. And then Jimmy, I talked about last week, I think a couple weeks ago, Chiny Agumake, Houston native. She's been the first African-American woman, a black woman, I put it black woman, that is on a major radio station. She's becoming the first one. Her and I think Mike Golick's son have a show. So let me tell y'all something, man. It's I know it's a little, ain't but 32 teams, but now we finally got a one black president. And let me tell you something, y'all. This young man is not a token hire. So all of you conspiracy theorists, let me tell you something, man. I've been watching some of y'all's posts on Facebook, man. And I'm not the kind of guy that I don't want to stop following people, but some of y'all and y'all posts, man, y'all need to look inside yourself. So some ain't right. But Jimmy, what's going on? It's a great Tuesday, man. I just had to start off with history. Let me tell you something. History is being made right now. Let's put our kids and groom our kids to be and put them in position so they can make history. Okay? Good afternoon, Tori. Let's groom our kids so they can be in this position. So we can say somebody out of this basketball community, Jimmy, that you done ranked, that Doug done ranked, that everybody done covered, and that young man goes on to do something great like this, instead of just running your mouth on social media and talking about he up there can make changes. Guess what? When you're the president, he can hire people he wants to hire. So that's what Jimmy later on, I know we got a special, when I tell you we got a special guest today, we got a special guest coming on at 1:00. But Jimmy, what you got going on, baby?
Man, we got so much. Speaking of football, I want to thank you guys for checking out the Chop Shop today and riding with us. It's going to be a good ride. We're going to roll through these 2 hours real good and calmly, talk about a variety of sports before being joined, as you said, on the back nine by a prominent Division I coach who's also very, very widely known across the country and within the basketball ranks. Now, in football, before we move on, let's get a little dose of shot of football out. First, I want to give a shout out to what is his name, Keldrick Carter, and that's the young fellow over at Texas A&M. He's co-founded an organization called Blueprint, and that's a group for Black student athletes, because Texas A&M, a lot of you guys who probably don't dwell in Texas, probably missed a lot of rumblings they've had on campus with, since May the 25th, George Floyd's death. And a lot of realize, for those that don't live in Texas, Texas A&M, University of Texas, they're real rivals. They're not in the same conference anymore, and they motivate each other even in the acts of kindness, even in the acts of social justice issues. So University of Texas jumped out, and a lot of the Black organizations on their campus rose up and produced changes on their campus, including the renaming of their football stadium, the installment of a couple of statues, which will be named after the first Black scholarship football player, and other things on that campus. Now, mind you, Texas A&M, they rose up as well, and the resistance that was felt in College Station was a little bit. Not to saying that the people in Austin didn't get any resistance, because they did. It just that a lot of times the resistance isn't filmed or doesn't go viral, or it gets snatched off of social media. Somebody don't post it. But don't get it twisted. They had resistance. Well, A&M, they had a few little resistance, and as a result, you got to realize the history, a lot of history within Texas on both campuses. But Texas A&M has, it has been rough down there for a lot of Black people historically. But the football program, the basketball program alike has succeeded and pushed through that. This young man has founded that group, and once again, it's called Blueprint. His name is Keldrick Carter, and want to give him props for standing up and putting his face on it, because he's received death threats and a lot more. He's a star football player at A&M. So just keep that name and Google it, Keldrick Carter. Also, social justice stuff. We like to get some of this stuff out the way early.
No. We ain't going to get it out of the way. We want to address it. You ain't getting it out of the way. Keep talking.
Well, getting it out the way, meaning put it on your plates so that you guys, if you want to eat some of that, then you eat some of that. Now, also a couple of months ago, I remember sharing with you guys right after the George Floyd. Remember, one of the issues that rose up to the forefront as conversations, of much needed conversations from city to city, was the various police oversight committees or boards. And we told, and I found out, and I found this, I went and dug a look, my shovel in the ground back then, and I found that in Houston, the police oversight board and the union's contract was up for renewal. It was ending at the end of this year. And sure enough, and I say, man, I read that they have 12 members on this oversight board in Houston. 6 are appointed by the union. The mayor and the police department appoint the other 6. This is the oversight board that's responsible for determining if the internal affairs did a good job, or if there was wrongdoing committed by a police officer as a result of different cases or that was filed against them, or allegations against them. Well, the lady named Kristen Anderson, she resigned yesterday. She was the head of that oversight board, Kristen Anderson. And her resignation letter, she resigned / turned into whistleblower at the same time. And once again, and I said it, think about it. If there's 12 members of the board, 6 are appointed by the union, the other 6 by the police chief / Houston mayor office. So that means if you're going through a review if the six that's with the union and the guy that's the defendant of this is a kangaroo court. It's not a fish. It's not a criminal court. This is the oversight board. Well, if the board, the union is down with that guy and he's a due paying member for 20 years plus or whatnot, just or within good standing or has his connections in place, then how can he ever get red flagged or get marked? Because no matter what, those six are going to be on his side, and you need a majority vote. So if the six from the union are standing together, then how in the hell, no matter what those other six people, civilians do, it's going to be a hung vote, and it never will be a majority. This is what they were fighting against. This is what a lot of the over 100 people after that 60,000 person march downtown after George Floyd. A couple of days later, over 100 people went to City Hall and demanded that a disbursement of this board, this oversight committee. Sylvester Turner, remember now, go turn the page for those of you who live in Houston. Remember, it was just 2 years ago when Sylvester Turner was at war. He wasn't at war. The Houston Firefighters Department was at war with the mayor over layoffs and they wanted equal pay as police officers, basically. So the police officers indirectly they supported this mayor. You see how this gang is going now? They supported him. So Sylvester Turner, he couldn't dare disperse this oversight board because that means you're going to, and they want to appoint a makeup like a jury is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a makeup of society. Well, put a convicted criminal on that board. Put people on that board who's had some experiences with officers and not people, you see, that's hand plucked already in the pockets. And I just thought that this is very interesting, and it may spark you guys because this is really serious. Because this is a very short window.
What can the general public do?
The general public can keep going every Wednesday when they have city hall meetings. You can either call your council person. You can call that first, or you can go and speak on it or call during city hall's annual Wednesday meetings. That's a start. That's something that you can do without leaving your house. But to let that go, especially if you have anybody in your family that has been abused or been in a situation where police have abused their authority or power, and it's happening every day. So that's the thing.
It makes me think about something. It makes me think about the justice for Breonna Taylor. And I was just thinking about it shouldn't just be about the officers. Who approved the no-knock warrants tactics? See, now you're talking about this stuff. Who approved the no-knock warrant tactic? What judge signed that warrant? Who trained the officers? What elected officials oversees the police chief? I'm going to go back. What elected officials oversees the police chief? These are the people who need to be held responsible. So you saying that, so the only way an officer can get from, and you don't have to, we don't have to linger here because I'm going to study it myself. The only way an officer can get reprimanded or come under discipline is by this board. That's the only way. I'm asking you, is that the only way that an officer can come under review is by this board? There's no other vehicle but this board?
No. Well, you have internal affairs, right? And so this committee oversees the police department, meaning that
that's
internal affairs.
I'm talking about the police department right now.
So
yes, when a police it got to go through this board. I'm gonna take a look at it. You just made me think about something. I'm thinking about the Breonna. I'm not gonna ever get Breonna Taylor off my mind because those officers are still not arrested. The Attorney General just last week agreed and met with the family for the first time in 160 to 50 days. So it's just, hey, y'all, we got a lot of work to do. We cannot forget this stuff. We got to keep this stuff on your minds. Like I got some. If you're concerned about the post office and what's going on there, because they got a hearing about what the Postmaster General, the Senate has on Friday. I got a number. I'm gonna post it later. You can text. You can text so you can get to that person that needs to be. You got to start voicing. Y'all know how some of these people get stuff done? Because like Jimmy said, they go down there every win, whatever that they go down there and wear the hell out of that city council. But we can sit up here and get our happy ass on Facebook and worry about what Cardi B and Joe Biden doing. But if you ain't getting your ass up and going down, excuse my language, getting up and going down to City Hall and trying to affect something that you riding around on these Houston streets, then hey, miss me with that mess, y'all. Come on, man. We got to get smarter. Quit all of this. Biden meet with Cardi B. Why didn't he meet with somebody else? Well, so what? Go down to City Hall and try to affect something that you can change. But that's all, Jimmy. I mean, this is, and I mean, understand, we're at somewhere that's really, really, really important before the future of law enforcement. Understand, officers don't know person in charge want somebody to oversee them because they feel like, I got this. Why do we need people, regular people policing us? And but however, they do things over and over, which gives us more and more reason. I just want to read a quote from the resignation letter from Kristen. And this is, understand, she was talking about the department and the oversight board. She says that narratives and frames are already in place, leading the board members toward the outcome already determined by internal affairs. If it's not surprising that the board signs off on most cases without any deviation from internal affairs conclusions, the board comprising, and that's a quote. I was keep going, but and she goes on, and far too many board members are uncritical boosters of the police and policing, sometimes shamelessly so, which hinders their ability to fairly evaluate officer conduct. You see what's going on? This is the chair of this board for almost a decade. And the heat getting out, so they done pushed her out, bottom line. And this thing needs to be put it like this. In Austin, because I saw one of the persons mention Austin a while ago in the boom room. In Austin, Texas, they have every city has a board. It's just whether they have the power to do or not. Well, in Austin, their board has the power, right, to initiate independent investigations, right? They also got the power to make recommendations to city officials and the police department about individuals, incidents, and investigations of broader policy recommendation. They have the power to do this. In the Houston, our oversight board do not have the power to do that. That's a big difference. Yeah. That means now you can't, it helps. So let's see how many people gonna fight about it. So we just talked, you just told, let's see how many people gonna fight about it. We already know the problem. Let's see how many people gonna go down there and let's fight about it. We can sit up here and talk about it all we want to. If we don't go down there, and Jimmy, come up in the screen just a little bit. If we don't go down there and talk about it, I mean, come on, it's gonna keep happening. Thank you for bringing it to our attention, Jimmy. I mean, it's just, it's some things that we can do. And y'all got to understand, we have built a nice consortium. We have built a nice army. We got enough people that follow this feed right now to do whatever we want to do. But we got to be consistent. Our relationship, this can't just be a give, take relationship. y'all, we got to start giving some too, y'all. You know, we got, hey, them toxic relationships, when you constantly giving and ain't getting nothing back, it's toxic. You don't want those kind of relationships. But Jimmy,
Yeah, so we up against the break.
yeah, we got to take a break right now.
Now we get into some sports and we talk, as you guys want to know, we recap some of these playoffs from yesterday. We start there. NBA playoffs.
Oh
day
my
2.
yes. Oh yes.
It's about to tip off in a second. But first, you guys hang right there. Share the show right now with your timelines, with your friends. Give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page. I see you guys over there. We'll be right back on the Chop Shop.
Just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Reverend Martin Luther King preaches a doctrine of nonviolent insistence upon the rights of the American Negro. What is your attitude toward this philosophy?
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolent. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing. And just as Uncle Tom, back during slavery, used to keep the Negroes from resisting the bloodhound or resisting the Ku Klux Klan by teaching them to love their enemy or pray for those who use them despitefully. Today, Martin Luther King is just a 20th century or modern Uncle Tom or a religious Uncle Tom who is doing the same thing today to keep Negroes defenseless in the face of attack that Uncle Tom did on the plantation to keep those Negroes defenseless in the face of the attacks of the Klan in that day.
We know what they do say. Tell us what they don't say.
They don't say.
They don't say you can play sports and keep a 4.0 GPA. They don't say you can go after academic scholarships. They don't say you can get your plumbing apprentice license at the age of 16. They don't say you can become a lifeguard, learn CPR, and save lives. They don't say you can become your own CEO at the age of 18. When you're on the go, Dermatize hand sanitizer spray.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. We're going to get into some sports. That was a great, great segment. If you just joined in, we took you around the world with social justice, police reform. Let me tell you something. If we just get more educated and get more smarter and be able to do this stuff, let me tell you something. We already got people out there fighting this stuff already. Guess what we're gonna do? We got experts that does this stuff every day. What we're gonna do is support them. We're gonna be behind them, support them with our dollars and our support. That's how this thing gonna get done, man. That's how, because this stuff take lawyers. These stuff take all kinds of guys. They had to go to court. Stuff is expensive. So just so you can understand, you don't have to be one of the soldiers on the front line. But at least guess what, Jimmy? What you said? Throw some logs on the fire. Throw some logs on the fire. So that's all.
You
So
keep warm.
what,
You keep warm. Don't freeze to death in this stuff.
yeah, we'll be freezing out
This
here.
world gonna freeze your ass and gonna freeze your ass clean
Yeah.
out. This world gonna freeze you out. You better throw some logs on the fire.
Throw some logs
I'll
on
tell
that
you
fire, man. So what else we got, boy? Hey,
Oh,
the playoffs
oh,
look
hold
good
on.
last night.
Oh, hold on. We got a birthday. We want to wish a happy birthday out to
Ashley
Ray
Jones.
Fat Cat Jones and
Ashley Jones too.
They
Yes.
got a double. They're not related,
Okay.
but boy, they got two birthday extending out to both of them. Ray Fat Cat is down in Port Arthur, and Ashley is in H-Town. She's at work right now. She's ducking in and out. Give a shout out to her. She's you guys may have seen her and both in the Boom Boom Room throughout the months and years.
Yes.
But happy birthday to both of you guys. Now let's go and turn this page and talk some sports. Hoops last night. Let's start with the playoffs last night. Now the first game started off glim. We were on the Chop Shop watching it, and it was, that was the Utah and the Denver game, and Utah was without Mike Conley. Went home for his, for the birth of his child. So this was a perfect stage for just blowout city for Denver to just impose their will, so to speak, on the Utah Jazz. And it appeared they were doing so. Then all of a sudden, Donovan Mitchell got hot, stayed hot, remained hot. And for the most part,
57 piece.
Yeah, and they were up down the stretch in that fourth quarter. He made a blunder and got a 8-second call. Didn't bring the ball across half court with about a minute and a half left, and that hurt them.
I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing that echo now. Yeah. You can talk. I'm hearing the echo from me, not you. It's from me. It's better, right? Yeah. So tell me about, It was, Jimmy, that was a unique series, Coach. You remember that's the series that you said that people want Denver to win. People don't like Utah. But I don't like Utah, but I just like the way they play. I really like the way, and I call you Donovan Mitchell. And I guess because Mike Conley was out, Donovan Mitchell was patting that ball just a little bit too much for me. And a lot of people were standing around. But he is unstoppable, Jimmy, when he wants to be, when he's aggressive and going to the basket. I did not know he was there. I mean, I knew he was good because he's in the league. But you got to understand, man, that's 57 in a playoff game. This not regular. See, you remember I told you, Jimmy, this marks that line. This playoff games, man. And when you can score 57 in a playoff game, that's a different animal. What else you see out there?
I thought that I was looking for. I really wanted Denver to win.
I know you did. I mean, you said it.
I understand, because I want us a formidable. I don't want if the Jazz. Just wishful thinking, just entertaining the thought for a second. If the Jazz would get by the Nuggets, then that's not too tasty of a semifinal matchup. The Jazz versus the Clippers.
Yeah,
you're not gonna watch that. I want to be able to just motivate me with a matchup to want to watch. I will watch 2 games of the Nuggets and Clippers. I will watch 2 of the 6. Clippers will beat them in 6. I watched 2 of them. They're sweeping the Jazz. You see the difference? Then that means that's one more day that we don't get a game in this fragmented season. So that's just me. So now, Michael Porter, he had a very par game, and the momentum that he had struck.
What you mean by par, Jimmy?
Par based on, remember, we can't measure him in the regular season. He didn't play in the regular season. He played on the bubble startup games. In the startup games, he was on fire. And I didn't look, and we probably can put it up in a minute because we talked about the first team. Remember, we promised to talk about who they picked on this first team, the bubble team.
Yeah.
And we talked on Thursday.
Yeah, he wasn't on that.
We cue it up in a minute and find out what team, or did Porter even make the third team?
I don't remember. I
and we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, he had 13 points in 31 minutes. He took 13 shots. He had 8 rebounds. Those are great numbers for the average rookie. On the court. Because he came out 2 years ago. But in this, based on what they had learned, we had learned to expect, because we had been led to believe, okay, this dude about to light it on fire. In other words, Ja Morant scored 35 in his exit game on Saturday. You see? So I'm not comparing.
Michael Porter is not the focal point of that team, Jimmy.
No, he's not the focal point.
Yeah,
The Joker is.
but
He's
the third option on that team. Jay Moran is the first option.
But understand, the third option on the offensive end on this team is saying a hell of a lot, meaning that you've only been playing on this team for about 3 weeks. In the NBA, that's a hell of a thrust.
And let people who don't understand this, the Kimberleys, I don't know if y'all might, someone pop me, okay. The following teams I'm gonna give y'all, they passed on Michael Porter. But mind you, he was injured, and I'm going to tell you some inside stuff I know. The Suns passed on him, the Kings, the Hawks, the Grizzlies, the Mavericks, the Magic, the Bulls, the Cavaliers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the 76ers, and the Hornets. All of those people passed on him, but I remember the doctor's report from the Clippers. The Clippers wanted him bad, Jimmy. They said that man back looked like the back of a 50-year-old man because of all the surgeries and all the problems he had with that back. That's why they didn't take him. I don't know. I guess that's what happened with a lot of people. They said that his back, I guess if your doctor's on his back and his back area, some part of his back looked like a back of a 50-year-old man, the way it's been damaged. So I just wanted to share that with y'all.
So with that being said, Denver takes him.
Yes.
And what do you consider the over and under on the amount of years before you say, okay, we got our money's worth out of this guy? What, 3 years or the whole 4 years? What do you think? Well, you can't go past 4 because 4 is the end of the rookie contract.
Jimmy,
2 years.
Jimmy,
what do you think?
I don't know because I'm not a doctor. I didn't see the back. I just went by what the doctor said.
No, just based on what we hear.
I mean, Jimmy, you never know. I mean, if you get, I think Denver is locked in on him. Well, I tell you what, we'll see how locked in is. After next year, that option, what they do they want to renew him, or they want him to play out his option? That's when you will know whether or not what Denver thinks about him and his back situation. And guess what? He didn't have to play. Thank God he didn't have to play a whole season this year. He rested the first season, so he didn't have a whole season to play this year. So next year it's going to be. I just hate it because he's an unbelievable talent. I mean, unbelievable talent, and he's not going to be able to, if his back. And Jimmy, guess what? Something might happen where his back just won't kick in until he's 50 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, will tell. Time will tell. But one of the things I did know, the little kid from Murray and
John Murray.
The Murray.
Oh,
Murray,
I thought you said from Murray State. Yeah, okay.
No,
Jamal
the Canadian
Murray.
kid.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
He had 36. He caught the cooking in that fourth quarter.
Did you hear what he was saying though?
No.
These dudes can't hold me. Everybody's saying that now.
Everybody say that, man. Everybody say that. They got to get more creative when they, say that in the first quarter. I like when everybody. You said after the bucket over with. That was Jimmy.
In the first quarter, you don't really get that hot.
Well, I'm just saying, but let me know you mean it when it's 0-0. You saying after you just went to cooking, you going up.
That's what you're supposed to say it.
In the NBA, these are pros. 400 some odd of the best on the planet.
450.
And what I've been told by several of those guys is that there are a number of guys in the NBA, more than half of the perimeter guys, if they get hot, it ain't nothing that one person can do to stop them if they got the ball in them. If a guy get hot.
You talking about? Hold up. You talking about in a regular gym setting with other people? Because If they ain't showing it
No.
in the league, I don't want to hear it.
No.
You talking about in a
what I'm
regular
saying
setting in a
is-
summer league or something?
No. I'm talking about they're in the NBA.
Well, let's take give me a perimeter player that people might not know. I ain't talking about the Russells and the
Jordan Clarkson. We name him. He played last night, for example. That's a guy to reserve. If Jordan Clarkson gets hot in a game, in
so
the
you're
course of a
saying
game,
one game?
yes, one
Okay,
game.
okay.
In one game, in a moment. You know, you're hot for that moment. You're hot. For
Okay,
that. If
yeah.
he gets hot,
Okay.
it ain't nothing that a person could do if he got the ball in his hands to stop him. Once a guy gets hot and they get their line, these guys are.
Jimmy, you know I'm gonna tell you when you're good though. I done learned. Ain't but two people I done seen this with, really, two guards this year. Who are the two guards this year? I know we go that. What's up, Gary Carter? What's the two guards, Jimmy? They picking up two guards in this league at half court before they even get past half court.
Who you asking me now? What's the question?
They picking up in this bubble. They picking up two guards with double teams. Soon as they pass, ain't but two guys getting treated like this. Two guys getting treated like this. One of them, you know who one of them is, because I saw how you turn your head. You already know who one of them is. And the other one is Dame Lillard.
You see him you see one of them today at 5:00. You see one of them today at 5:00.
Yes, sir.
And you know what?
Yes, sir.
You know what?
It's break time.
That's the only game of all the playoff games where the money is an even line right now this morning.
It's got to be. We got an MVP that's out there.
Between Houston and OKC. It's an even spread. Now, Lakers are giving up
with an
6.
MVP out, Jimmy. Put that with an MVP not gonna play, and it's even.
It's even.
With an MVP out, that's good. I mean, hey, so that says right. Let me tell you something. I'm nervous than a hook in church right now about this game tonight.
Okay. Let me tell you something. So with the Houston Rockets today, them playing against the OKC Thunder. Here's the thing. Nobody expected Utah to beat Denver, except unless you lived in Utah or unless you related to one of those players or went to school with at the alma maters of one of those players that play on the team, or you coached him in grassroots ball, or he might have dunked on you. That's an indirect relationship or a funness of one of those players. You did not expect Utah to beat Denver, right? However, nobody expected Memphis to beat Portland on Saturday either, right? Nobody expected Memphis to beat Portland. You see, going in that, think about the comparison. See, this correlation I'm making. But in defeat, Ja Morant scores his 35. He went out guns slinging. Last night, Donovan Mitchell, he scores 57, 9, and 7. He went out guns slinging. Today, the Rockets, if they lose to the OKC Thunder, James Harden better go out guns swinging.
Wait a minute.
That's all.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Who these last two guys you just mentioned? Who you said?
I mentioned the guys who are the leading scorers on their respective
They went out
teams.
blazing. Give me that blazing analogy. I just want to get it right.
The leading scorer for Memphis scored 35.
Ja Morant. Okay.
And the game was competitive down to the last minute.
Okay.
The leading scorer for Utah Jazz scored 57, 9, and 7. It was in a competitive game that needed extra minutes to determine. Right? So the leading scorer for the Houston Rockets, if they are defeated tonight, he's expected to follow that trend. That's all the people understand.
I'd rather him hit 20 and win. I'd rather him, because y'all, that's the problem.
We're not talking about a win.
I'm talking about a win.
If they lose in defeat, that's the only way that follows this trend. This trend has nothing to do with the win.
Jimmy, he been doing Jimmy, he been doing that. He been hitting.
Not in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
He's still
it's
elite.
been-
Jim. His playoff. You want me to give you his playoffs numbers?
said in playoffs, it's been iffy. In the
Do
money
you
game,
want me to
It's
give you
money
his
game.
play? He still averaged
It's
over
almost
30.
29 points in the playoffs. 29 a game in the playoffs.
No, pull it up. I'm finna pull it up for you now.
What did he average last year in the playoffs?
Don't play with him now. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about over his career.
Once again, with James Harden, it's what he does in the losses that gets magnified. He's had more good games and bad games. You think James Harden gonna have 3 good games and 3 bad games? No. But it's what he does or what he does not do in defeat that has angered or has pissed off a lot of the Houston Rocket fans.
It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. To all you pissed off fans, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Think about it, y'all. You've been Houston Rockets fans. Y'all been in the playoffs 8 straight years, man. 8 years. What y'all talking about? Hold on, Jim. Keep going.
Yeah. And so that's what that game, of course, is today, 5 p.m. The last game of the day, of course, the Lakers and Portland.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. I just pulled up a fact. It's a fact. I want y'all to go look it up. Do me a favor. Go look this one up. These moments last year. We just going to go last year. Okay? Kawhi, because you said in the playoffs, didn't you, Jimmy? Kawhi, I'm going to use Kawhi and Harden in the 2018-2019 playoff versus the Warriors, because that's an important game. The Warriors.
Kawhi averaged about 19 points in the playoffs.
No, just slow down. Against the Warriors. Now, I'm talking about the Warriors. Kawhi, listen, y'all, didn't y'all hear me? Because I know Jimmy, he finna forget because he typed. I said against the Warriors. Steph Curry now, right? Kawhi averaged 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 33% from the field goal, okay? Now, James Harden, this in the playoffs now. This playoffs, because Jimmy said he don't play good in the playoffs. Hold on. 34.8 points a game, 6.8 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists per game, 44% against the Warriors. So he lost, but 45 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists on 44% shooting, and y'all complain about him?
Adam.
No. I hope y'all, all you people that complain about that, I hope y'all hold y'allself to these kind of standards. I hope y'all hold, in your life, I hope you hold yourselves, you fans who pissed off. I hope y'all can hold yourselves to these kind of standards against the Golden State Warriors. That's all I'm saying. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. And I hope you are as good as at what you do as he is at what he do. Remember, he's MVP. Let's go. Where else you want to go, Jimmy? You know you can't mess with that.
Once again, those were his averages from there. That includes the win. And as I said before, you provided those stats, is that people are the stigma on him is his performances in the money game losses. And that's the thing. And it just gonna, guess what? It's up to him. It's up to him to overcome it. And it starts tonight. And guess what? That once again, we know he doesn't choke as a whole in the playoffs, but people, the lack of, He's not going down. He's not known as the guy like last night. Even if the Utah Jazz gets swept,
He not
you know
Dame
what?
time.
There's that.
I can agree with y'all. And listen to me, y'all. I'm not blind. I can agree with y'all that he is not the type of player that takes over a game like Dame Lillard. You don't get no argument out of me with that one. You don't get no argument out of me that one.
When Chris Paul was out, he missed all three.
But I saw the other day, and so did Trevor Ariza and the other guy who gets a lot of money that buys all the sneakers with his money. So let me tell you something I learned about basketball. What I learned about basketball. If you can have all the Michael Jordans if you want to. If you don't have no Scottie Pippins, no Steve Kerrs, who on the Rockets has ever hit a big shot? Because I'm saying James doing all the heavy lifting. Who on the Rockets in his 10-year, Jimmy, that hit a big shot when he's not on? Think about what happened to Dame Lillard the other night, Jeffrey Day. I want you. See, sometimes y'all quit being so biased and just take a look. Look at Damian Lillard in the last half of that game. Jimmy, we missed that break. In that last half of that game, guess who was bringing the ball up killing? C.J. McCollum. Dame had some rest. James don't never get a chance to rest. And I know y'all don't like him. I understand that. But quit. If I'm giving you fact after fact, see, we in a society now that I can give you fact after fact after fact after fact, and you're going to come with your affirmations. You're going to say, well, he did. Well, he did. Well, he didn't. I'm telling you, I don't see him as this guy that, okay, y'all put me on my back and I'm finna take y'all. No, but guess what? He's the guy that can have you in the game, so if somebody else can hit a shot, they can win. Think about it. Chris Paul went out, nobody else. You're talking about James, nobody else did nothing. Those guys get paid also, ladies and gentlemen. I understand James, the MVP, you want to put it. He's just not the player. He's not that. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Michael Jordan, okay? He's not Michael Jordan. Let's get that out the way. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Dame Time. He's not whoever. He's not Kobe. He's James Harden. Guess what? Ain't nobody else like Kobe. Ain't nobody else like a Dame. God gave every last one of us a one fingerprint. And James, can't nobody do it like James. But if you go and talk to an unbiased player that's in the NBA, they'll tell you, big game, hey, ain't nobody can guard him. But he just, like you said, he just haven't been on a team that had teammates when he's not great. Jordan wasn't great, Kerr hit a shot. Jordan wasn't great, Pippen hit a shot. Jordan wasn't great, not Kerr, Paxson hit a shot. Jordan had the flu, somebody else did something. James Harden missed a shot, guess what? Everybody in Houston, the pissed off people, he ain't clutch. He ain't this. Robert Horry had to bail Shaq out. He done belt some people. Robert Horry belt, hold on, Tim Duncan, who all y'all love. Robert Horry belt Tim Duncan out. Robert Horry done belt everybody out. He belt the Rockets out. He belt Akeem out. But guess what? Everybody have those type of players. Just do me a favor. When you're killing James Harden, just sometimes just look and say, who else has ever helped him? And then we can talk. Now, Jimmy, I know you want to get in. I just had to educate, because I know y'all affirmations are so strong. I just hate Harden. He ain't this. He ain't this. He missed a shot. He missed a shot. He just hit. He can't play defense. He lead the league in steals. But I know steals ain't a good defensive stat. But guess what them steals doing? Stopping the other team from scoring. He's one of the best post defenders in the league right now. So he can't do it all, y'all. Y'all can whine and talk about it and sniggle. He can't do it all. So I'm sorry. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it.
Now, you did a great job trying your best to market James Harden while also putting a mattress up under the trapeze so that he can fall on if his ass choke against his OKC Thunder. The bottom line, you don't hear nobody sitting there talking about James Harden in the wins. We love to see him go 40, 60, 50 over and over and over. We down with that. But when his guys get to this time of the year, that ass get tight. And that's the part for him.
Hold on. Excuse me.
Talking about.
Oh, Kevin
in
Freedman.
the losses.
I know he can't hear.
Once again.
Kevin Freedman, I know you can't, Jimmy. I learned. You just can't hear. At this time of year, right?
Listen, once again, in the losses, you run into a stat that you waiting on. I'm not talking about the stats.
Jimmy, he lost against them. Jimmy, he lost against these guys. Jimmy.
I say, extract the losses, Hatter. I'm not talking about combine all the stats together.
You said his booty hole get
losses. In the losses, what he don't do or what he's lacking in the losses.
So you want him to, what you want him to do in the losses?
Remember Denzel said that movie? But it's the misses. Is what Jimmy, right now.
Jimmy, did you hear what you just said? Jimmy, did you hear what you just said? You just want him to score a lot of points when he loses. That's what you telling me.
No, not scoring a lot of points. We want him to produce and perform at the peak level of a mega star, what he is in the losses. It's like this. It's either all or none.
Jimmy, against the Warriors, a series they lost, he averaged 35 points, man. He lost.
You said 40 something a while ago, which I told you that wasn't true.
What wasn't true?
You said 40 something a while ago against the Warriors.
I just gave you the stats. I read them off. I said 34.
You read them off. You said 40 something. I said that ain't true.
But you sitting up here, as long as he scored a lot of points in a loss, he all right with me.
Adam, it's producing. It's not necessarily points. In most of the money losses in the postseason, once again, in most of the money losses, those losses, the postseason playoff losses, in most of those, since he's been a Houston Rocket, he has failed. Put it like that, in the losses.
I totally disagree with you.
Donovan Mitchell did not fail yesterday in a loss. Ja Morant didn't fail in the loss.
Hold up. Maybe not to you, because you like people to score a lot of points when they lose. But he bringing the ball up the court with no pressure and got a 5-second call in a crucial part of the damn game. Let me tell you something, man. And you sitting up here, you condoning that? It's so bad he even said that was a bonehead play. But you overlooked that because you want to make an analogy about Harden. Man, come on, man. I'm telling y'all not listen to me. I ain't saying it's Harden time. I ain't never said it's Harden time. But I'd like to have a guy on my team, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who play basketball that can shoot a little bit, that all I got to do is set my butt in the corner and do this right here. Let me repeat that. I would love to have a teammate, Jeremy, Tiffany, Todd Holmes, that I can just sit in the corner and I'm going to have a wide open three every time, and all I got to do is hit it. People don't even rotate out on our guys. That's how good this man is. That two guys, listen to Jimmy, you don't pick up no scrub and half court and double team him, Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm just sorry. You went to see a lot of basketball this weekend, didn't you? In summer basketball. How many guards got picked up at half court? I know it was none. I watch college games all the time. I never see it. This guy's so lethal. And all I'm saying, I understand y'all hurts that he ain't winning your championships for y'all. I understand that. He don't have a Vernon Maxwell on his team. He don't have a Mario Elliott, a kiss of death. He don't have a Robert Horry or Sam Cassell. He don't have those kind of guys on his team. So he don't have a Ray Allen on his team. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, listen, I'm not making no excuse for him. I'm just telling you, Jimmy, I don't want him to hit a lot of 57 points and lose. I want him to hit 20, 30 and win. That's just me. That's all. I just look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. That's all. I understand your pain. I understand y'all. Yeah. You know, I understand you Houstonians. See, I ain't from here, y'all. Let me tell y'all where I'm from. I love Houston, but let me show y'all something.
Memphis. Nothing but Memphis. Everywhere we go, it's Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee, the beautiful land in the world.
That's why I don't get too caught up, y'all.
Man, let's go to the break, man, so we get our guests in here. It's crazy.
You ready to go to the break?
Memphis.
We can go to the break.
I'm surprised they ain't had gold teeth all in their mouth.
But being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms.
Oh, Jimmy, I didn't mean to come back, y'all. Let's finish that.
But being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ. Now, whenever it takes a stoppage of something that's going to affect the white man, you find the...
Everybody, this your boy Charles Woodson, man. I'm in H-Town right now, man. Y'all know I love me some Houston. But I just had to tell y'all, man, that my midday sports happy hour is the Chop Shop with my boy Robert Hatter and Jim Hicks. I think y'all call them Ray and Claude. Well, if you do, I'll put the sheets on you. You know how they do it, man. Hey, y'all have a good day, man. I love you. Chop Shop. Tune in.
Welcome back to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. We are officially on that back nine, 8 minutes past the hour. We are grooving. Shout out to all you teachers, educators out there who have found a way to maximize 2 screens on your desk. Your co-workers don't know you watching the Chop Shop right now while you're doing your Zoom lesson. And we found the perfect solution to the Chop Shop and you guys in the Boomer Room. Boy, we love this stuff right here. And now we shift gears a little bit. Talked about basketball last segment, NFL ranks. Now we shift and talk a little collegiate basketball.
Okay.
As well as some recruiting. We have with us, the incomparable, the legendary. I'm talking about, part of the first family of basketball in the state of Texas. The Johnsons. Not the Cedric the Entertainer, not that movie, but the Johnsons up out of Oak Cliff. And that is Royce Snoop Johnson with University of Texas at Arlington men's basketball. He's the assistant coach, and he is the guy head coach Chris Ogden is going to get a pay raise every year and a half because of this man right here, Snoop Johnson. Welcome to the Chop Shop, Coach. What's the word?
What up, Coach?
What's happening? What's happening? Hatter, can I get the people? Can I get the people, Hatter?
Yeah, the clap. You gotta get in there.
No, Coach. No, Coach. I got something better.
Noise,
Coach, I'm right in the middle of giving somebody a little piece of my mind. I'm about to text him in just a second. That's for you. What's up, Doc?
What's happening, man? Appreciate y'all having me, man. I look forward to being on the Chop Shop. I just hate y'all that y'all bringing me on the college segment that I couldn't go the whole hour and talk football, NFL, and NBA with y'all, the whole 9 yards.
Well, hold on. Hey. Let's scrap that right there. We're going to let you get off of this right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got 2 games we didn't recap from the NBA. And we just let you get started right here. So last night, right, we talked about Denver and Utah. How about the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks? Since you're in Dallas, give us your thoughts. First of all, Dallas Mavericks fall 110 to 118. It was unfortunate that Porzingis got teched out the game, received his second tech during that contest. What were your thoughts on this series? Do the Mavericks have a chance? Can they beat the Clippers?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. Everybody that know me know that I'm a Laker fan.
That's right.
So I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon with it, but I still rep the city. I rep the city, and they got a bad rap. Now we don't know if they was going to win the game or not, but y'all know. Come on, Porzingis. He shouldn't even got the first check. Better yet, the second check. The referees, they know that the NBA is star-driven. It's entertainment. The referee got to know Porzingis already got a check. I can't give him this weak check. Game 1, you setting the tone for the series, and you do that to him. So, I
got a question.
One strike against the refs. Game 1.
It's always bad when you know the ref's name. It's not good. It's not good. And this guy, Kane Fitzgerald, that's his name, Kane Fitzgerald, he think people come to see him referee. Like some of these little refs we got around here locally, be at the high school games, they have their little outfits all hooked up, and they really think somebody came here to see their little raglags, right? And he's the guy that threw LeBron out because LeBron asked him a question few years back. This guy here, these guys like Scott Foster. When you start knowing guys, that's the one who always put Chris Paul after the game, the one who can't stand Chris Paul.
Right.
When you start knowing these guys' names, Porzingis ain't nowhere in the world you got one tech. You should have took your little happy butt over there to mess with Marcus Morris, because you know he'll tear your head off. Turn your thing down over there, Snoop. I think your volume. Oh yeah, that's Snoop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn your volume down on your set. Yes, because I'm
you got a second device over. You got something
on your device. You got something that's loud, or just giving the feedback. But I'm just y'all. Hey, let me tell you something. He should have known better. Now the first tech, But that's in the rule books. If y'all want me to read the rules, because all of you people talking about they stole it, I'll read the rules to you. I'll read the rules to you. You know, I brought the rules with me. But Porzingis, and let me tell you something, they were rolling. But guess what? They was also rolling with a guy. Man, let me tell you something. What did you think about Montrezl Harrell that played about 15 minutes? He hasn't played in a basketball game, Snoop, in 5 months. Because you remember he missed all of the games. That was his first game ever showing up, and he looked like it. Lou Williams missed 3 layups toward the end of the game. I mean, got to the hole and just missed the layups. So hey man, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, they should have won that game. They should have, what you call it, Snoop? They should have snowed that game. They should have stole one. But we shouldn't know about the refs.
Well,
who the refs are. I'm sorry. Huh?
They should at least had a chance for us to find out. We didn't even get a chance. But I mean, going back to Porzingis and the two things you said, Porzingis and Montrezl Harrell. Porzingis, you got to understand, you got a young playoff team and an old veteran coach in Rick Carlisle. So I'm sure that Rick Carlisle stressed to his team that the Clippers were going to try to out-tough them and be more physical. So you got a guy like Porzingis that's, you know, he's not the strongest guy in the league. I mean, even though I'm sure he's stronger than what he looks. But think about something goes tough. The first thing he wants to do is show that I'm not afraid of them. So his instincts took over right there. And then as far as Montrezl Harrell, he, I mean, the only thing, I think 15 minutes good. I mean, everything else is just him trying too hard right now. You know, Lou Williams is he's a skill guy. So timing is going to affect his game. Timing is not going to affect Montrezl's game. Montrezl Harrell, his conditioning, because he loves to play harder than you. So when they get a chance to play him, you know, 20 to 25 minutes, you know, that's when he's going to be a threat.
And of course we have Snoop Johnson with us live talking a little NBA talk. And of course, and so once again, Luka last night, 42 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, a good performance. I see Trey Burke appeared to have tweaked his ankle a little bit during the closing quarters of that game. Curry, I mean,
Curry played well. He had big
Curry
shots.
played well, but it would take against this Clipper team. You need more. You need that Curry who played against the Rockets last week. You need that version of Curry to step up.
But he wasn't playing against the Rockets. It's easy to do that against the Rockets. It's not as easy to do that against this team.
Well, he's did it against more than just the Rockets. I'm saying, Steph Curry. Not Steph Curry, but Steph Curry. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he lead the league in 3-pointers this year?
I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, somebody can pull it up in the boom boom room, but they need more than 14 points from him in that game last night. Understand, Porzingis, that's unfortunate. Now, what you mentioned the referee had, pay attention to see they're in the bubble now. So if they wasn't in the bubble, that ref would not referee another game probably this series. They'll call him off the road.
No, he didn't do Jimmy. He went by the rules. Do I need him read them to you too?
That's dude. The rules. If that's the case, if we go by the rules, that would be a foul called every trip down the court, Hatter.
No. I'm talking about the technical foul rule. The NBA released their statement on it, and the referees released their statement. He shouldn't have done it. Why can't y'all just put some onus on him?
Yeah, he shouldn't.
When you get the first one, Jimmy,
right.
you got to be cool on the side. And hold on. Dude talking about he was protecting his player. Dude, you went over there. You didn't do nothing. You were finna get your head tore off. Corey talking about he was protecting his player. He wasn't protecting Luka. That dude wasn't even doing nothing to Luka. That was just stupid. Hey, Boban, Boban told him, man, go on. You see Boban said, man, go on. That was dumb. Get on out of here. I even know not to do that. Get your dumb butt on out of here. But that's all.
So, so
Hey,
now,
Jimmy, Jimmy, going back to what you were talking about with Curry, you got to realize the Clippers have ex-players coaching over there. Doc Rivers, Sam Cassell, Tyronn Lue. Okay, those guys understand that they feel like they got a couple of the best defenders in the league, and their thing is we're gonna take our chances on Luka just beating our guys one-on-one versus helping and letting this guy over here, like you said, that was one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He can't create his own shot.
That's a good point.
So it's enough for him and was it Tim Hardaway Jr. and all those guys? Those guys hadn't been but they hadn't been able to create shots. They're taking their chances on this series. If Luka can go for 57 and 40-something, they'll take it. They'll take that, but they can't let Luka go get 40 and 38, and then you look up and Steph Curry got 1. Tim Hardaway got 23. They want to stop Porzingis, and they want to stop Luka one-on-one.
That's a good
They're going to take their
That's a good point.
chances with
I'm
and
sitting
Luka
there
go
looking,
Luka go Luka gonna hit him for 51 times. He a bad boy. He gonna hit him for 50.
Hey,
you gotta
Jim,
help him. You gotta help him.
Jim,
But
I
they
remember
gonna
y'all.
take their chance.
Go on, Snoop. Snoop,
I'm
Jimmy.
saying they gonna take their chance.
Jimmy and Chris
Go
they
ahead.
used to jump me about because they was on the Trey, the Trae Young versus Luka thing a couple years ago. I like Trey, but I haven't seen nothing like Luka before. And how he's so control of his body. And I mean, he went through one time, and I thought he was gonna charge. He just hopped, stepped, and went around. I said, I'm telling you, man, he's different. He's different.
He's the top 3 offensive player in the league right now.
Wow.
He's one of the top 3 offensive players.
And
I just think it's hard to stop him. He can shoot the mid-range, the deep ball. I mean, he's big. He can go. I mean, he's going to be a top 5 player in the league next year. I mean, hands down. Maybe not. Kevin Durant comes back.
Kevin Durant definitely will be back. And earlier I mentioned regarding to Steph Curry, I said he was one of the tops, probably the top in 3-point. And I just looked it up. He's indeed was number 3 in the NBA in 3-point percentage at 45%, like 1/10 of a point.
And George Hill is number 1, Jimmy. George Hill was number 1, I thought.
Yeah. I knew he was up there, and and at one point he was a leader. Probably when I last looked it up. That was during the regular season of this before the pandemic went down. But now, Snoop, we talking hoops with you. I want to give you guys an update in case you guys haven't noticed. But the Orlando Magic, an 8 seed, is up by double digits over the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. Even though it's really early, it's midway through the second period, 43-31. A 12-point lead in the NBA guys will evaporate in a heartbeat. But still, it's this Orlando Magic team, and DJ Augustine did not start this game. Used to be the starter. Markelle Fultz. How about this? 4 for 4 right now in the first half, 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
And
tell me more.
We have a couple of Wesley Iwundu is off the bench with 4 points in 6 minutes, 2 for 3 from the field. Westfield High School and former Houston defender Wesley Iwundu. And so there's a pair of guys, and of course,
I like that news.
The Greek Freak, only 5 points right now, guys. And it's still early. Once again, 43-31, midway through the second.
Hey, Jim, one of the things I call that series now, Milwaukee's going to win that series, but I said that series won't go less than 6 games. And let me tell you, I didn't think that they were going to switch the starting lineup, but the length that Orlando has on that team, like you spoke of Wesley Iwundu and Markelle Fultz, who else gave Milwaukee problems last year with that kind of length? Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So defensively, they're going to give them some problems. The problem with Orlando is that they got to score. That's their problem. They got to score. But they're going to give Milwaukee some problems defensively.
And of course the Boston game, Snoop. What do you think about Boston last night and Philly? Boston Celtics, they prevailed, took care of business. Joel Embiid, he had a good game with Philly, but sometimes good ain't good enough. But went after the game to criticize the team and the concept, saying he didn't get enough shots and they need to call more plays or whatnot, insinuating call more plays for him. How do you see this thing going down, Philly and Boston?
Well, if Boston's gonna win the series, they might win it in 5. But Joel Embiid is the best player in the series. But if the way I look at Philadelphia, man, if you play for Philadelphia, you better go get you some numbers and get you some money. Go get you some money because you're not gonna win in Philly. You're not gonna win in Philly. Joel Embiid don't care. He don't care about winning right now.
Ben,
it's
Ben
obvious he can say the right thing. It's something going on with the coach or something that he's too good to not go ahead and just put him on his back, but he plays uninspired sometimes, do what he want to do. Just go in and get your money. That shape, the kid from SMU, Milton, go get your money, but y'all not going to get to the finals playing against Toronto and Boston. Those guys are teams Milwaukee, they're teams. You're not going to beat those teams.
And guess what else, Jimmy? He don't hang with nobody. Don't nobody hang with him. He stay in his room on the road. Don't go nowhere with nobody. Don't even go to Applebee's with nobody. He don't go nowhere with nobody. And
you can tell.
He just is crazy.
Now, of course,
I'd like to see Ben Simmons take over that team. I think Ben Simmons, you can get there, just kind of like Greek Freak. If he takes over the team.
Something about Ben.
If he takes over.
Haywood. They keep saying Gordon Hayward is out for 4 weeks. That might help Boston.
Yeah.
That might help Boston.
Yeah, you say it might help Boston? No,
it ain't gonna help them. It's not gonna kill them. It's not gonna kill them.
And now also today, of course, the game is in progress right now, but coming up next is Miami and Indiana. And what's your thoughts on that, Snoop? The Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers,
Hey man, whoever wins that series, both of them are good enough to get to the finals. Either one of those teams.
Really?
Both of those teams, that's going to be a dogfight right there.
I like Jimmy.
And it's probably going to go 7. It's probably going to go 7. But either one of those teams can beat Milwaukee, Toronto, and Boston. Either one of those teams.
I'm liking Toronto now. I thought this would never come out of my mouth. I am liking Toronto, man.
Well, the thing with Toronto is, every other night there's a different player that's stepping up to assist with the scoring load with Kyle Lowry. Every other night. Last night is Van Fleet. Van Fleet's he sets a record. Like he drops 30. You didn't see that one coming in the game one. Not Van Fleet. We know Van Fleet has been serviceable. He's been a solid, one of the best role players in the world. I love him even more based on the comments that he made in support of Christian Dawkins during the thing the other week. The other month. The special. This dude Toronto is solid. They're solid, and Toronto have all the incentive in the world because of the blatant degree of disrespect that they got from a lot of the mainstream media when Kawhi Leonard left. They basically rolled them over and says basically they're a lottery team waiting to happen, in a nutshell, in so many words. And not only these guys maintain a number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, they are a formidable threat to get there, because if you're looking right now, Milwaukee is down 16 points. Not to mention, this ain't it's not a one-game series, but that means you had all this time to be able to get on the page and come in and make that statement. You didn't turn against a team like Orlando, who's playing with house money. They just happy to be here.
Jimmy, the unique thing about basketball, pro basketball, do you think this 16, Jimmy, this ain't, you better watch the tempo of this game. This game, I think these guys are going to come back and beat the brakes off these boys, man.
I mean, they could. We've seen 20-point leads in the NBA evaporate like water. But it's the thing is the energy level. That's what I'm saying. It's different if Orlando came out the game and they were just on fire. You know what I'm saying? And somebody was just lighting them up. One guy, they're just beating them. They're beating them at the game of basketball. And there's the motivation, if you're watching on the screen, it's lacking. Now they're down 18. And it's like, but I mean, sure thing. The basketball, what would basketball do if the Orlando Magic advanced to the second round and Milwaukee goes on?
Jim.
Who's gonna watch Indiana play Orlando?
Soon as you just ran your mouth, Greek Freak came and said, wop, wop, bop, and back down the court. As soon as you just talking, Greek Freak said, bop, 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 and just back. He back. Hold up. Defensive. Hold up. Got a rebound. Hold up. Corner shot. Oh, bucket. 5 straight points. Jimmy, this NBA, man, is fantastic, y'all. It's fantastic.
They're gonna be around. They're gonna be around 6 games. Like Jimmy said, Orlando playing with house money. And the thing I'm looking at is that Milwaukee can't just run to the basket on Orlando because they got size and length. They can't just run to the basket. So if they can't run to the basket, all those dudes that get them open shots that normally get all them open shots, they don't get all them open shots when you got a little length. Like you say, Wesley one day, and they got Markelle folks in the lineup. They can kind of, they can smother that stuff a little bit.
The third quarter.
It's going 6.
When they gonna make these adjustments? When Budenhauser, what his name? Coach Bud Budenhauser go in there and make these adjustments.
So what are you saying, Hal? Are they gonna sweep them?
Yes. Sweep City. Okay. Sweep City.
Now,
what y'all talking about 6 games. Sweep City.
The last game we're going to talk about, we'll get your thoughts on Snoop, and that is the nightcap. We've already talked about the Rockets, but the nightcap is the Lakers and Portland.
Ooh.
Another 1 versus 8 seed. What happens tonight?
What's that?
I hate it for the NBA. I hate it for the NBA, but we need a little rest. We need a little rest in between this thing, so we're gonna shut it out in 5. We're gonna close it out in 5. It's a blowout tonight.
I told Jimmy. What did I say Jimmy was gonna be?
Lakers tonight by a minimum of 15. I don't even think.
Jimmy, what did I say it was gonna be in this series?
I don't even think they're gonna play in the full.
Jimmy, what did I say it was gonna be in this series? You remember everything else I say. What did I say?
Alan, you're not rooting for the Lakers, so let's get it out the way. I
said sweep. Jimmy,
You said, Alan, if you say a sweep, you're saying it to raise the bar so high. That way, if it's not a sweep.
No. I gave you my reasons. I told you about Nurkic playing too many minutes, and you just don't listen, man. Look, you listen to the show. Hold on, Jim. Jim, you don't listen. I gave you my reasons for the sweep. I said Dame Lillard played 41 minutes a game. I sit there and told you Nurkic, a face was red. He was sucking air. He ain't going to be able to. C.J. McCallum got a bad back. I said they were going to. I gave you a reason. What?
At back, once you get heated up, as long as you don't sit down, once you get heated up, them pros, they going to work on that back.
You know what? Hey, Jim,
Portland is not going to get swept. Portland ain't getting swept. They're not getting swept.
Let me tell you this. Jimmy, they're not getting swept. They get 5. LeBron like to keep it. LeBron like to keep the media right and everything. So he gonna let them. He might give them game 2. He might let them get game 2. He might let them. I don't think he but he might let them get games. You got to realize the Laker team, Clippers team, those teams were put together for the playoffs. So now you finna see Danny Green. You finna see all those guys at playing at that level. They finna play at that level now. You know, so you finna see like Dame gonna get his, but he gonna work real hard shooting those 6-5s tonight.
I got 2 alphabets for you. A-D. That's all I'm gonna tell you, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got 2 alphabets for you. I didn't say the ABCs. I said A-D.
We're gonna see how it's gonna fare. And that game will be, of course, 8 p.m. Central Time is a tip-off between the Lakers and Portland.
I think LeBron goes for 40 tonight, Coach.
40?
I think he goes for 40.
Easy work.
Yeah.
Them little old midgets trying to guard him. Hey, C.J. McCallum.
Yeah, he going for.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he going for 40.
Oh, Melo. Wait, who in the hell going? Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet. Jimmy.
Y'all been watching LeBron James.
Hey.
Y'all been watching LeBron James for almost 2 decades. And you guys know LeBron is going to try to get everybody involved in game 1. He's going to try to get everybody happy right now he's going to try to appease and get Kuzma because he's going to need those guys in money games on. LeBron is the guy, you know, he waits on you to swing, and after he's going to counter. He's a counter punch.
Jimmy, he's too old to counter punch now.
His team hadn't swung yet.
Jimmy, he's too old to counter punch. Jimmy, you remember that commercial a long time ago? OC to make your life easier. The OC the brooms. Sweet.
No, man. Now, Snoop, want to ask you about that. Speaking of the NCAA, on yesterday, they announced that the of course, newly appointed head of the NABC, the National Association of Basketball Coaches, and that is Craig Robinson. He has announced that they created a coalition of players, right, which will provide like feedback. And we talked earlier about a police oversight board. So this coalition will serve not as an oversight board, but as a board of recommendation. Sometimes if you want to get something and you want to know what the players need and what's better for them, why not talk and let them have a voice? So this committee will allow players to have a greater voice on and off the court in NCAA basketball. And it has various members from, maybe about a dozen different schools, and including TCU and Dallas's RJ Nimbrot. And your thoughts on the direction that the NABC is taking now with giving young players, which most of them are black or of color, giving them a voice.
Well, everything always trickles down from the top, and right now, going through all these times that we're dealing with the police brutality and everything, you're hearing so much, and the pandemic, you're hearing so much about and you hear on the NBA, you hear the players having, and they all talking about their voices. So I think it's a great move by the NCAA to incorporate that versus the players feeling like they don't have a voice, so, you get ahead of the 8 ball on it, and then, or you do what you can have what's going on in California where the players want to say, hey, you're going to hear our voice. You don't want it to be like that. You don't want it to be like that because you're dealing with some 18 to 20, 22, 23-year-olds. So they need some kind of supervision. Think about when you was 18, 19, 20, and 21, what kind of decisions would you be making? A lot of their decisions are going to be something that they've seen on YouTube or on social media or something like that, and they're not understanding that they're not professional athletes. You're not a professional, So I think that's a great move by Craig and his staff and the NCAA and the NABC by doing that, because now they're letting the players know that you do have a voice, but you're going to get some chaperones around there to help you with that voice.
Jimmy, you got something else on that? Because I got another question I want to ask him about college basketball. You want to piggyback on that?
No, let's go. No, let's go. We got other questions.
Let me tell you something, Snoop. Interesting topic I mentioned weeks ago, and I hadn't heard anybody talk about it at that much. But I want to bring it up to you. Are you familiar with the McClendon Initiative, the Minority Leadership Initiative? Are you familiar?
I'm not. I've heard about it. I've heard about it, but I don't know enough to speak on it.
Well, let me help you out, Snoop, and you and follow me and let me know how what you think about it. It's an initiative that was spearheaded by John Calipari and also Tommy Amaker. Okay,
Right.
it's to get minorities in all levels of college basketball, not just coaching, right? And and I would never forget Cal and his wife. They had talked about the success that has happened for him and his family. Okay, and it's because of the black families that entrusted them with their son. You follow me? Okay. He and his family benefited because of black families, the Marcus Camby's and all of them of the world. Caused him and his family to be rich. So he and Tommy Amaker, they organized this initiative. It was initially going to be on Kentucky's campus, right? But all of a sudden, 76 coaches joined in from all sports. Coach K is joined up. Nick Saban is joined up. But they're not just joining up with their mouth. They're joining with their money, Snoop. The coaches are putting the money up, saying that they're going to fund, check this out, Snoop, they're going to fund positions on their campuses in the athletic administration. So guess what? Let's say U of H don't have, forget it. We're going to create a position for a black person in there, and we gonna pay for it. Ain't got to come out y'all pocket, but we want them to learn not how to coach, but how to be an athletic director, how to be an administrator, you follow me? Because there is no diversity problems on the field of play. The only time we have diversity problem is with athletic directors and the leaders in athletics. So now so let's say Gary Carter, Bobby Benjamin, these young guys, they come up and they go work at one of these schools, and they put in a position to be an athletic director. Then they are more likely to hire Snoop Johnson or Jimmy Hicks or you follow me? So I'm talking about hey, you know what? No, I'm gonna let you make it today, Anthony Weston. When I'm trying to make a point, I'm using minority. This the name of the damn initiative. When you get your initiative, you name it what the hell you want to name it. Now, let's get back to what we got. Somebody on the feed come talking about what's a minority. He said that same shit, same stuff every time. I'm sick of it. So we're talking about something important here, man. Damn. Get your initiative and name it yourself. All right.
Say, man, you waste 20 seconds.
No.
Keep going.
Okay, now, no. Hold on. And they name in the name of it, Jimmy and Snoop. 300 people has already submitted their applications. Okay, 300 people has already submitted their application. And go to minorityleaders.org. If you're a young man in college or at a school, let me tell you something. These people are, I know it's Snoop, these people are coming in with their money. Snoop, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Nick Saban putting his money in. Because he got money, what? Off the backs of what? Black athletes. So they putting their money back into to this situation. What do you think about that, Snoop?
Well, I saw it. I got a chance to catch the interview with John Calipari on one of the networks. You know, I got a chance to catch him on it, and I heard him talk about it and everything. I just hadn't done enough enough research since he had the interview. I hadn't followed up on it to know enough about what's going on since the interview, like you have right there. So all the information and the numbers you just gave that was the first time I got those numbers. So I just think anytime you get guys like Coach Cal and those guys, you know, they just let you know that they get it, you know, that they get it, you know, that they wouldn't be where they were without the athletes and some of the coaches. And I mean, he always goes back to Marcus Camby, you know. So I mean, they understand why their families are in the situation that they're in right now.
But Jimmy, the most unique thing I like, they say, you know how you go to the college campus? Well, it's not in our budget. They don't even have that excuse no more. Snoop, Jimmy, the college said, dude, it ain't got to be in your budget. We finna write your check for these positions. We finna write your check. You just find a way and you facilitate it and make sure they learn something in this. I think it's and they can call it what the hell they want to call it. I get people, and Jimmy, and I just get tired of people always running their mouth, but you ain't got, what's your initiative? These people got an initiative, and they can call it, because when I get my initiative, Snoop, I'm going to call it what the hell I want to call it. How about that? So what?
That's right. Hey, one thing that I'd like to chime in on that is that, you know, when you talk about those positions, I think that as African Americans, you know, we need to stay firm that we're not going to just go from making good. We want to be in leadership positions, and we're qualified to be in leadership positions. You know, so that's just one of the things that I think that we need to stand for. You know, with our professionalism and, you know, and things that we're talking about. You know, these universities and everything, you know, it's a lot of qualified guys out there that can be athletic directors, that can be head coaches, you know, but we just get paid a little bit more money and think that everything is fine. We want, you know, the money's fine. I want to take care of our families and do different things, but we are leaders. We can lead programs. We can lead organizations, you know. So that's the next step that I think in college basketball that the coaches need to get together and push for.
I got a question, Snoop. It's a lot of companies has benefited off the back of black people. They haven't started no initiative like this. I'll wait.
Correct.
I'll wait. I'm drinking some water on that
one. Well, and who the hell says they have to?
Ain't nobody said they have to. But people trying to downplay this like this ain't, it's not a, well, no, it's important. It's very important.
Well, it could, one of the things if you're paying attention, if the college coach opted or refused to take a pay cut, and instead of taking a pay cut, this is what he does, then this might be that was his option or his plan B or his alternative. Because a lot of college coaches out there have taken voluntary or involuntary pay cuts because due to the pandemic. So I'm not saying every coach that's gotten involved took pay cuts or in that situation, but some of those, you understand.
This is a different situation right here.
It could be.
This is a different situation about taking a pay cut. This is a different situation. Different situation. Pay cut is you helping the university. You bringing money out of your pocket to fund a kid in a position and put a kid in position. That's a whole different animal. Whole different animal. I know sometimes it might have went over some people's head.
Jimmy, you better jump in because they got Hatter going. You better jump in.
No, man, I'm not worried about default. Hey,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
the name of the initiative, Snoop, is the Minority Initiative. I've got to name the name of the damn initiative. If these people listen, come on, man, let's get past that.
So
Let's
now,
get past
Snoop,
that. I done moved
Snoop, I
past
wanna
that.
ask you,
Hey, I done really moved past that mess.
Snoop, will there be a
Okay.
college basketball season?
I think it will. I think it will at some point. At some point, we're over there going through great protocols. Our leadership has been great on all of these causes. The pandemic, they've been great with the police brutality. I mean, but that's been ongoing with us at our place. With especially in the basketball department with Augie. I mean, diversity and that kind of stuff. That means so much to him all the time. So I mean, we didn't have to go through a lot of great changes with that. But as far as going back to that question with the basketball season, our training staff, we one of the mid-majors that's been blessed in order to test. We just went through our second round of testing, so we're getting ready to get close to being able to go 5-on-5.
Really?
So whenever it comes, we're gonna be ready. And I just think that's what you have to do. Is just follow the leadership and get our guys ready. Because I mean, you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball if the season starts on time and you didn't prepare for it. So I mean, we don't know.
So what are they doing with fall sports at University of Texas at Arlington?
Well, our volleyball team is really one of our only main fall sports, and as of right now, they're preparing to play. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Our athletic director, Jim Baker, he and his staff, we have virtual coaching meetings every Tuesday. I had one this morning. So they inform us. They reiterate our safety comes first, and they just not talking it. I mean, we feel it. We actually, we feel good when we go to campus for workouts and everything, but they want us to feel good about what we're doing over there right now. So I think nobody feels forced to do anything, and it's just happy to jump in there every now and then and get a chance to see the guys.
Has any team pulled out of your schedule yet because those opponents may have decided to pack it in and not play or not be allowed to travel as far?
We talked about a couple of teams on the West Coast. As of right now, I don't know of any of them that's pulled out right now. But we do think it's a possibility of a couple of this West Coast swing that we got with St. Mary's and UC Santa Barbara. We think that's a possibility of canceling, but it hadn't canceled as of today.
But and so I was looking, of course, the Pac-12 last week announced that they would not start basketball until January the 1st. And so a lot of people are scrambling for games, I'm seeing, because if you were scheduled to play them in a non-conference game, those teams now are having to possibly call each other. Now, do you guys have a travel restriction implemented?
Not as of right now. Not as of right now. I just think that we're taking our time with our athletic department, jumping the gun on anything. But he's just kind of, our athletic department is just following first the Sun Belt. They're following the Sun Belt first, and then the NCAA. So as of right now, no restrictions. We did a good job. Coach Young and Coach Ogden did a good job of. Besides that West Coast trip, we brought most of our games a little closer to home. So we'll go to the state of Oklahoma and play 2 games. We'll go over to Louisiana. So we did a good job of scheduling for the pandemic.
That's a smart move. And so now Texas Tech, Coach Ogden came from Texas Tech, and normally those type of schools would give a game because that's the way they call it a money game. Are you guys playing Tech?
No, not yet. I mean,
Why not?
I know they've talked about it since the first year they got in there, but you know, those two guys, you know, are good friends, and I know they really like to. I mean, they even talked about Tech coming to Arlington that first year, but you know, you still have people above the coach that have to help make that happen, and you know, Tech made a quick jump to, you know, they went from a Big 12 team to a national power, so a lot of different opportunities I know that came their way, and you just have to work in there, but I think we've done a good job with our schedule, scheduling the games that we need to get us ready for the league play.
Coach, what about the fan situation?
Well, again, it's one of those unknowns. That's still one of those unknowns. We don't know. I mean, we don't even know when we'll start playing. So maybe when basketball season come around and we get a chance to start playing, or if we start on time, or if we start in December or January, we'll have they have a better handle on how many fans can come in, if any.
And that's why I remember Jimmy talking about money games. It ain't no money games if you ain't getting no money from no fans.
Correct. I think that's what a lot of people are dealing with right now, you know, especially with those Big Ten ball dropping out and everything. Now you got those mid-major schools that they got that money penciled in.
Well,
that money's penciled in for a lot of different things.
Well, yesterday, Coach K was in an interview and with Myron Metcalf, and that's one of the brothers with ESPN, and he's doing really good as far as covering the recruiting in the college ranks. He's our next guy on that poll as far as for the advancement and through the mainstream media ranks. And Coach K was picking Coach K's brain about the basketball season, and Coach K was giving an analogy like, well, you know, maybe like for the Champions Classic, you know, there's a possibility that, because a lot of people are exploring these bubble type options, and he's saying like, and let's say they put Michigan State, Kentucky, and Louisville in the bubble with three other teams and play the buy-in games, and everybody play like a round robin, and that way those other teams, because understand, Coach K is trying to find a way to look out for his son, because it's Mike Davis at Detroit gave his son a scholarship. His son transferred away from Kentucky, and now I say Coach K. I meant Coach Cal. Sorry about that, guy.
Yeah,
Coach Cal.
I know who you talking about.
And so he's looking out for his son, and so he was like, well, we can give each one of those other three teams like a Detroit, Murray State, and East Tennessee State. They can get paid from those buy-in games. That's what they be. That way those schools can walk away with a check. So a lot of those schools have they don't want to have no fans there, but they still have a kitty, a nice sized kitty, or the coffers, so to speak, that they can go and help some of those other teams out. That's what I was saying.
They're gonna go help other teams out. But so you got Stanford canceling 11 programs, 11 sports programs. Stanford.
Yes,
who has a $28 billion endowment. They canceling programs. And you saying another program gonna come and try to help another program out?
Adam, the basketball at Stanford has a lesser meaning of value to the fan of Kentucky.
But the money got to come from somewhere.
The money is already there. The money is already there for that program. They already good.
So the money is there for them to give games to other people that fans might not be able to come in. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah. Michigan State has money right now. Now, albeit them lawsuits gonna hit their ass from that gymnastic thing, that ain't got nothing to do with they have money in the coffers. That's like a person that's not working right now. If you save your money, they got money.
Every university in the country is suffering in some matter in this
No,
pandemic.
I'm saying,
just because I'm not agreeing with this bland shit.
Do you think, is University of Texas broke right now? because of the
I
pandemic?
did not mention broke, not one time.
I did not.
I said
They
this
have-
pandemic. Listen, look at my lips. Because you and some of these people just don't listen a little good. This pandemic has hurt every institution in this country of higher learning. Everyone. So
Alan,
you're saying Kentucky
Alan,
had an
if we
umbrella over
are
it?
out of work, Alan, if we are out of work and I've still got my savings, you didn't save, it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me right now. What I'm saying to you is that understanding. They were talking about, and he was giving a scenario of what they are talking about. I'm not telling you what I'm talking about. I'm telling you what Coach Cal was talking about.
Excuse me. I'm talking to him too. Hey,
talking.
That would be my question to him too.
Now remember something. When you have the classics like this, like these things, and they go to Bahamas, those are sponsors. Just like when Rossi is doing his basketball events down here. That has nothing to do with the money from University of Texas or Texas A&M that are playing in the event, or Louisiana Tech. The sponsors of the event is who paying and taking care of those expenses. Is that right, Snoop?
Jimmy, what is a...
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
School, Heather, what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Go to school.
You said the school was gonna pay.
I said Kentucky got bread. They got basketball money that can go a couple more years and they can be suspended to sustain themselves economically. Yes, I said that. Absolutely. But the issue wasn't about that. The issue is more so the conversation was can the NCAA go another year without having a NCAA tournament? That's what the initial conversation was between Metcalf and Coach Cal and Coach K. He was part of the conversation as well. So I mentioned, I got him flipped at first, but he was part of that conversation. And so this is how, and then this, what I just mentioned, came from that conversation about what they're talking about doing some bubble, because the bubble stuff is working because a lot of schools, remember, if they start conference play, they won't do conference play until the second semester. So that means once a lot of basketball programs are exploring the possibility of playing after Thanksgiving when they get out of it for the spring break, because some schools have pushed the final exams up to right after Thanksgiving instead of being the second
What is their reason to play? Snoop, what would be their reason to go play in the bubble? What would be your reason to go play in the bubble?
Well, I think that a bubble thing, I agree with Jimmy. I mean, if they're going to have a bubble,
what would your reason? You just go and play because no fans can come in the bubble. So what would be your reason just to go play basketball games? What would be your reason?
Oh yeah, no, you definitely want to try to get some games, hoping that it's going to be a conference play. You want the opportunity to go see your team. You want to develop your team for that year for conference play. So you definitely want those games.
So you'll pay for that.
If you'll
pay for that, right?
Yeah, if you got a safe fire, you say what?
You'll pay for that. You'll pay for that. You'll pay to go in this bubble because that bubble gonna be very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Where is it? So the money to pay for the bubble is going to come from the sponsors?
If it's a classic being held, then that classic is paying for the expenses. That's where it comes from.
So I hear you. So you're gonna spend because it costs $150 million plus to contact that NBA bubble. Okay. So now what you gonna scale down on the bubble? So somebody
Adam,
Jimmy
the NBA bubble was 20 teams. We're talking about 6 teams.
Okay.
And we're not talking about a 3-month span. We're talking about a 2-week span,
Okay,
or
in
maybe
2
3
weeks.
week span during the Christmas. I'm gonna say 21 days.
Okay,
put it like that.
So in
21
days,
span, because they would have to play 6. They would play a round robin of 5 games. It would be 6 teams. Okay. So that means you're playing every other day. You know, you'll play a game in there, and it would take you 7 days or 5 to 7 days before you would even of quarantine before you start playing. And that was one of the things. And of course, I mentioned Rossi, and Rossi is joining us on Thursday to detail his proposal that he submitted to a lot of the NCAA schools that made news on ESPN last week. That's Rossi Karen. And he's going to join us on Thursday to detail his proposal and why and how it's doable and how much it would cost and all of that.
Okay, so y'all don't know. I'm just trying to see what you just want to get some games in, Coach. That's what you want. I'm just trying to find out what 6 teams come inside a bubble for 21 days. Okay, 21 days. And I'm just trying to find out who is going to accrue the cost. Because in Rossi's proposal, I read that the teams was going to have to pay.
They got to pay a buy-in to Rossi's with Rossi's.
Okay. So the teams you got to charge the teams enough where you can have testing, doctors, and all of this stuff for 21 days.
Well, Rossi was trying to get, because Houston is the medical capital of the United States. Rossi was trying to get.
It's still gonna cost. I don't care what the hell that is.
No, he's trying to get one of the hospitals to come on as an underwriter of that arm of it. To underwrite all of the expenses that it would cost to do the testing. That's what he's trying to get done. That based contingent on that happening or not happening, then the rest stuff goes in the wind. It's like everybody, you make a plan and say, well, I just get a sponsor. It's like when I do a basketball tournament. I say, man, I haven't talked to Chick-fil-A. I'm saying, man, I can go call Raging Cane or Chick-fil-A and get them to sponsor the hospitality room, because or Triple J's. I would think that Triple J's, if I called upon them, they would, it might do something. So it's one of those things. We don't know. But at the same time, he will the dialogue. Heather, you just got to realize, dude, there's a lot of people, even though the country is doing bad economically, there are a lot of people out there still got a little bread, and they want to throw it out there.
I did not say that, not one time. That did not come out of my mouth. I was trying to find some answer that you can't answer. And I'll just wait till I'm just trying to figure out.
Well, they got a college coach right there. You asked him the
Coach
question.
Said he just want to play some basketball. We want to get some games in. Okay. And guess what? That's just one coach. I want to ask several coaches. I'm going to ask several coaches. What would be your reason to go in a bubble? That's all I want to know. I'm not a coach. I asked that to get information. See, when I ask questions, I ask to get information. I ain't trying to trick nobody up. I'm just trying to understand why would I take my team, pay to take my team to a bubble.
Now, there's two different things. There's two different, Heather, there's 2 different things what we're talking about. Rossi's proposal is not the mimic example of what they were talking about with this Champions Classic. Rossi was talking about them teams playing the entire non-conference season in the bubble. That's what he was talking about. That means enough teams will come together to play an entire non-conference season right there during the holiday break. That's what his proposal is. That has nothing to do with a tournament that's sponsored. Let's say if Rossi was doing his tournament, his classic in December, if that was to be a bubble proposed situation, that would be totally different. Those teams ain't buying in for that. He's got to pay for that. He's going to sponsor that. And that's what I'm saying. Big difference, man. Big difference. 2 different whole things. Now that part I know is 2 different things. Now, the way, and sure enough, I'm not explaining it very well, but you guys, as I always talk, when I go around the corner and around the corner and around the corner, you guys know what the hell I ain't saying. You know that much. I'm saying, you know what I ain't saying. And if you're paying attention, you will know what I am saying. That's just period. Stacey, you know what I'm saying.
It's all right. I'm going to find out. I promise you. I just thought I was going to get a little bit from here, You
This
know
man,
I'm
as I
always
just said a
researching.
while ago, this man trying to find a way to take care of it, to bless this man for taking care of his son. I said it earlier. If that was your son going to Mike Davis, taking your son, and you promised him, and he gave it already. You promised him again. Y'all got a gentleman's agreement. I'm just giving you an analogy or a scenario. If you promised Snoop a game, he signed your son a scholarship, and your son ain't worth a quarter. But he gave him a scholarship. Come on over here. Because that way now, guess what? Guess what?
A scholarship that I really don't need because I'm a millionaire. But keep going. Because Cal didn't need that scholarship.
It's not that. When you got that type of bread, that's deeper than that. You want your son to make it seem like he got it on his own. Steve Trauber's son went to Rice. He's a millionaire.